Hi, I'm Rich Olowski, here for Channel 6, and I'm here with Margo McDermed, our 37th District State Legislator.
Hi, Rich.
Hi. Margo, this is your first term in office, right?
That's right. I was elected last November and got sworn in January to be the representative for the 37th District.
Now, you replaced Renee Kozel, who served many years for us.
Renee retired, and I stepped up and from Will County Board, where I was working before, and now I'm in the Illinois House.
And this isn't your first elected position, correct? You were, correct me if I'm wrong, a clerk with the Frankfort Township.
That's right.
And a member of the Will County Board.
Yes.
And now you've moved into the position of our 37th District Representative.
That's right.
And could you tell us a little bit what we can expect out of you as our 37th District Representative?
Well, the House of Representatives in Illinois is one of the two parts of our legislature that make laws here in Illinois. So if I have an idea about a new law I'd like to see, or if some folks in the 37th District come forward and say, Margo, we need a bill about this, then I write up a bill and file it and try to get the bill through both houses of our legislature. And then if it passes both houses, it's signed by the governor and it becomes part of the laws of the state of Illinois.
And that's one of the key parts of what you represent us, is that you work with the state, with the governor, and you're not a federal congresswoman.
That's right. My purview is the state of Illinois. And, you know, there are 118 of us reps in the Illinois House, and we each represent about 108,000 people per district. And then we have 59 senators also here in Illinois.
Well, that's quite a big office there and a lot of people to deal with.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility to represent, you know, everybody here in the 37th District. And of course, once we get to Springfield, we have to think about everybody in the state. They always tell us, vote your district, but we also have to think of the big picture. And, you know, while representing our district, also think about how things that our district need affect other parts of the state. So you kind of have to wear both hats.
Okay. Now, when you talk about the 37th District, that includes what townships and villages?
The largest part of the district is Frankfort, Mokena, and New Lenox, our Lincoln Way area. I also have 20 precincts in Orland Township, so the southern part of Orland Park and Tinley Park. Also a little part of Homer Glen, a tiny part of Joliet, and a chunk of Lockport. So a number of different jurisdictions fall into the 37th District.
That's a big area to cover there. And
yeah.
Do you find it challenging to be able to meet and speak to all the people in this area?
I think that's one of the challenges of the job, is to make sure that I move around the district and talk to all the mayors, the park districts, all the school districts, and try to meet citizens from every part of the district. That's a real important part of my responsibility. And I do try to move around and go to events. I'll be at an event in Homer Glen tomorrow. I'm, you know, at events I'll be in Mokena on Saturday. So that's part of the job. Yeah, got to move around, got to drive around, got to see everybody.
Okay. And do you spend a lot of time in Springfield?
Oh yeah. From January, usually until May, we're in session, as it's called, where we go down there and actually debate the laws, file the laws, amend the laws, and generally work. Now, right at this particular time, we're still meeting because we haven't quite worked out the budget yet. So we're still going to be meeting through the summer trying to get a balanced budget for our state.
Now, that's a lot of time spent on this. This is really a full-time job for you, correct?
It is a big time consumer, and it's a management challenge because I've got to work on things here in the district as well as being in Springfield for sessions. So you do have to manage, I have to manage my time really well and try to keep on top of where I am and what I'm supposed to be doing on any given day. I really just kind of operate day to day like, okay, here it is, Thursday, where do I need to be today? It's It's a lot. It really is.
Now, your office, we're sitting in your office right now, and you try to make it centrally located within the district, correct?
Yes, my office is at 11032 West Lincoln Highway in Frankfort. And if you're wondering exactly where that is, it's right across the street from Kohl's and Panera, near the intersection of Route 30 and Wolf Road. And Wolf Road is just about the middle of the district from a east and west point of view. Route 30 is kind of at the southern part of the district, but we're pretty central, and it's real easy to get here, I think, because Wolf and 30 move pretty well. People can come on LaGrange Road, they can come, from other parts of the district and get here pretty easily, I think.
And you make yourself accessible to people coming here in the office, correct?
People come all the time. If you want to schedule an appointment to come and talk to me about your legislative concerns, just call the office. We're here for the most part 9 to 5, and the number is 815-277-2079. And I regularly meet with different people from all around the district who have concerns about different suggestions for legislation, concerns about what they see happening and how it's going to affect them. And I love to meet with people and hear what's on their mind. It's a lot of fun and very rewarding to try to talk to people and bring their concerns down to Springfield and try to make some changes that will make people's lives better.
Now, do you also have like a website for people to kind of look to see what you're up to, or could they contact you through that venue?
I have a website. It's called repmcdermed.com, and you can do a couple things there. You can send me a communication. A comment form will come up, and you can, send any information or things that you want to ask me or tell me. And also sign up to get a newsletter so that I can let you know what's happening in Springfield, what's happening here, what legislation did we pass, what's the status. I try to send those out every 2 weeks or so.
Okay, that's great. Now, how has this your first term, even though it's early on, how's that been going for you?
Well, it's a real learning curve because there's a lot of things that I have had to learn about how to prepare a bill. We have staff in Springfield that help us research ideas and write bills, and staff to help us work through the committee process, because every bill gets assigned to a committee, and then you have to go and argue your bill in front of the committee, and then they'll pass it out, and then you get to discuss your bill in front of the entire 118 members who can question you and challenge you on your bill, and the debates get very spirited. So you have to know what you're talking about. You have to be on top of your game, and don't just bring some idea that you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't look good for you if people ask you questions about your bill that you can't answer. That's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
And I saw a few people that happened to. I try to think that I know what I'm talking about when I bring a bill, that I'm up to speed on what it says and how it affects people.
So there's a lot of work involved in your legislations that you pass and these bills coming up, and what you need to do besides just getting the ideas and getting a feel for what your constituents need. You also have to prepare yourselves, make sure you're well prepared to bring that information forward.
To be able to answer all the questions that you get. And one of the best, most, I think, fun things is every bill has to have at least 60 votes to pass, and some bills require 3/5 or 71 votes. As the sponsor of a bill, it's my job to walk around the floor and get those votes lined up. So it's a good way to meet people. You have to get people to agree with your idea and buy onto it and agree to vote for it. So that means I have to go individually persuade the legislators and maybe make some compromises or changes to build a bigger coalition around the bill. In spite of some things that we hear about what goes on in Springfield, there is a lot of bipartisan work to get bills passed. Some of the big things, not so much, but most of the day-to-day activities are very bipartisan, and people work very well together.
Well, that's good to hear.
And listen and respect each other.
That's good to hear.
That's one of the best things, is how surprisingly professional and respectful people are. I've really enjoyed that.
Well, it sounds like a lot of work. And now, from a lay person like myself, I didn't realize how much work you actually do, how much time consuming this job is.
It's very time consuming, and I did retire after 30 years in business and then started my second career as an elected official. And it's a real blessing to be able to contribute at this level, in my second career. I think every day is a blessing. Yeah, some days I'm kind of tired, but yeah, I think it's a real blessing to be able to contribute and to give back to the community. I've lived here in the Lincoln Way area for 37 years, so, it's time to, give back in a really significant way right now. So I'm enjoying it a lot.
Well, that's great. And I'm noticing something on your desk right now, and it has a lot of, looks like a lot of scribble on there. Could you tell us about that?
This is an Illinois House tradition where when a new legislator gets their first bill passed through the House, all the members of the House sign, this is a copy of the vote on my first bill that I passed, House Bill 303. And then as sort of a memento, all the legislators sign your first bill and sign the vote. So that shows that I got 114 votes on my bill out of 118, and it did pass. And it passed the Senate, and it will soon be signed by the governor. So I'm very excited in my first year to get a bill passed. It's not that easy.
What you've been explaining to me, I would imagine it wouldn't be easy. And for you to do this in this short amount of time, that tells me you put in a lot of work here.
I worked hard on that bill. It makes severance agreements signed by any kind of a government entity subject to the Illinois Freedom of Information Act. So, for example, what happened at College of DuPage or what happened with Metro where they were trying to hide these big severance agreements, that can never happen with this bill. So I think that's a really important contribution to government transparency here in Illinois, and I'm really proud of my bill.
Well, that's great. I'm glad it came out of the 37th District where we all live. And
thanks, Rich.
That's great that it came out of this area that we championed it. Well, Margo, is there anything else you'd like to add about your office and what type of work you guys do here?
Well, we like to hear all your concerns. Never be a stranger. If you have an issue that you want us to hear about or an idea for a bill, I do have a couple of ideas that are working right now where people have come forward, people from the 37th District, for the next session. We start again with new bills in January, so definitely this is a real good time for people to come forward with some ideas. I've got a couple right now, always looking for ideas, and always feel free to come and tell me your opinion. I like to be responsive to what's on their mind, what are their cares and concerns. That's my job, to listen to that. So never hesitate to call or email. We will respond. And, I do have folks that work here in the office when I'm in Springfield. There's always somebody here Monday through Friday, regular working hours. So don't be a stranger.
All right. That's Margo McDermed, our state legislator of the 37th District, and I'm Rich Olowski here for Channel 6.